Well, welcome back everybody. Josh here with Josh's Lawn and Landscape. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and I want to say thank you to all my subscribers, everybody who's commented and liked the videos. A little bit of a how-to and follow-up on the Quiktrak. So appreciate some of the feedback that I got. Again, like I said, thank you for all the comments and everything. So I believe I have figured it out. Well, I know I have because I've already tested it. But I want to do a video on this because I've seen one for the Z-Track right there. And I've seen one for some other like stand-on mowers. But if you search specifically for the one for the Quiktrak, it doesn't come up. So I'm just going to do a quick one here on it. And as you know, I mentioned in the previous video that I had an odd situation with the Quiktrak, that it was traveling much faster in reverse than forward. Almost like the speeds were reversed. So checked the drive belt, make sure it wasn't on a pulley backwards, so that it wasn't spinning the pumps in reverse. So everything was good with that. And checked the hydraulic lines going from the motors to the pumps to the reservoir, made sure all of that was okay. And one thing I want to notice, and I'll try to put a picture in here, right here, so maybe y'all can pause the video and look at it. If you're looking at that photo and you look at the right side of the schematic, which would actually be your left side motor if you're standing on the back of the machine, the way it shows those hydraulic lines going from the pump over to the motor, as far as this machine that I'm specifically discussing here, can't get my words out there, is incorrect. Because when I look at that schematic and I looked at the hoses on this machine, they were showing as being hooked up backwards. So the first thing I did obviously was jacked up one side of it, took the wheel off, changed the hoses around, and then obviously all I wanted to do was donuts. So just an announcement there. If you check that, go back and check that schematic out for this. The hoses on the right side of the schematic, which would be again the left side motor, as pertains to my machine, this is the 2016 and a half version. Just double check that because the schematic does not match what is correct on this machine. So I wanted to get that out of the way. I did check that, so you know, dripped a little bit of fluid out of the hose, but next to nothing. So actually I'm going to turn the camera around and then I'm going to show you a couple of tools that you need and how I got this corrected. So bear with me. Alright, so we have our Quiktrak motor here. You can see we got our hydros, steering linkage, which goes up to the top here. And you can obviously see, I'll zoom in a little bit here. And I got a new tripod, y'all, so y'all bear with me. I'm getting used to using it too. So, and I'll show you what it looks like later. But yeah, I got a tripod so I can do some more filming. But obviously, if you watch these rods here, when you push it forward, the rod moves up, pull it back, rod moves down. Okay, so pretty simple. And what that is actually called is the mower tracking. So those are adjusted by, let me see if I can zoom in here on the bottom. It's easier to discuss. Now they're on the bottom as well as the top, so you have to do this on both ends of the rod. So if you look at the bottom of the rod here, see the little jam nut there? There's one there, and then one on that rod, and it's kind of hard to see the one on the other one, but you can see the one on the front and the one on the rear. So those little jam nuts there, you actually have to loosen those and back them off. and you'll do them there as well as on the top. And you can see there's, almost went too far. And you can see again there's 4 of them here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll want to back those off. And I had to do this 3 or 4 times because you had to back them off and do this adjustment, test it, and then you may have to loosen them and everything. So we'll just discuss it using the ones down here on the bottom because it's easier for me to point down here. And what I've got is 2 or 3, well, 3 or 4 little tools. Basically, you'll need, wrong one. Sorry. This one, there we go, 1/2 inch. So you'll need a 1/2 inch wrench, open end, box end, and I've actually got 2 standard lengths as well as a stubby, just because these are sometimes a little aggravating to get to. So you may need a stubby to get to those for that. So 1/2 inch wrenches, 2 or 3 of them, as well as a 1/2 inch socket and extension. I just got my 1/4 inch drive ratchet with a good long extension, and what that's for is if you see that bolt there, or excuse me, that nut there, there's a bolt that comes through. It's kind of like a carriage bolt that sticks into the bracket, the green bracket part here. You want to back that off, and you have to hold it in because it's got the square locking part on it that slots through that frame. If you don't, it'll just start to spin. So make sure you kind of reach around and push that. And the reason it is it's a lot easier to get to the 2 jam nuts on the back, on the bottom, with that bracket out of the way. And all it does is it's simply to help hold the fan shrouds on the covers. So pretty simple, and it is, like I said, also a 1/2 inch socket. So you will back these jam nuts off, top and bottom, and then you will spin the rod. I believe is clockwise, extends it, and basically what that does is you'll watch if you turn it clockwise this way, it pushes the makes the rod actually kind of, I think it makes it longer if you do it clockwise. And what that does is it adjusts the drive handles here, and if you turn it clockwise, I believe it pulls this handle back, and then same thing on the other side. And then you may have to adjust them. As you can see on these, they're a little off, but when you push them both all the way forward, it tracks straight. So so basically you just have to find that sweet spot where you have the proper speed in reverse, and then you have a further distance you can move it forward, which allows it to open up further going forward. So like I said, just adjust it a couple of times, tighten the jam nuts down, back it out, drive it, make sure you're tracking straight as close as you can get it. And then also then just check your speed, obviously. And then once you do that, then again you can tighten all your jam nuts back up, top and bottom, and you are good to go. Now, one thing that I didn't do that I wish I would have done was actually gotten video of before showing you how fast the forward and reverse was, but I can tell you for a fact that it is fixed. So, and then once you tighten all the jam nuts back up, as long as you've got it tracking straight, you put the bracket back on again with the nut and bolt here, and you see, make sure that you go in between the tracking rods on both sides, so not on this side of it. And just a quick note there, and that is basically how you adjust the forward and reverse speed, or tracking as they call it. So I wanted to do one on this one because when I searched for it earlier, it came up tracking on a Z-Track, or it was tracking, I think one was on a right stander. So I wanted to put something specifically for the Quiktrak. So if it's searched that way. Let me turn the camera around real quick. So, just wanted to put this video out there as to how to adjust the forward and reverse speed or tracking on the John Deere Quiktrak 652R. So, the dog's jumping around back there. Hopefully this was helpful to someone. Again, I appreciate all the support for the channel and all the comments, likes, everything, subscribers. If you haven't had the chance yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down at the bottom. We've passed 700 subs. I finally got around to ordering some swag, if you want to call it, and there's a couple other things I want to pick up so I can finally put together the subscriber giveaway. So again, thank you for all the support and getting me to 700 subs. I want to make sure and just reiterate that as much as I can. I do appreciate it. Tracking on to 1,000. So y'all keep it up. Again, thank y'all. We'll get there. So I just want to say again, thank you. And y'all be safe, be kind, be blessed, and catch you on the next one. Thanks, everybody.